In this video, we'll take a quick look at managing relationships in Power BI, understanding how it works and where it might cause some issues in your data sets. In this example, our goal is to look at sales by year. And if we look at our fields here, theoretically, we should just be able to say calendar year and order quantity. So by default, this is actually summarizing this calendar year here, which is because it's set to a numeric value. So let's change that to don't summarize. And what we can see here happening, and this is a pretty clear sign that something's up with the relationship, is for every single year, the order quantity is the same. And it's pretty clear that that's not accurate. We would expect different values for each year. So that's a pretty clear sign that the relationships are off and we need to adjust them. There's two ways to look at the existing relationships. You could either go to this visual over here of relationships and you can see how things look, or you can go up here to manage relationships and see it as more of a table view. What's happening here is right now, let's go back. If we were to replace year instead with customer name, this works fine. We can see this is breaking down by individual customer, and that's because customer has a relationship to sales. It's got this customer key and they are connected. You can see if you hover over it, that's what's connecting. Same would go for product key to product here as well. The problem is once we go to year, if we switch out this to calendar year, again, don't summarize, that relationship doesn't exist. So it doesn't understand, the model doesn't understand that this order key should relate to this date key, and it's just going to repeat it. It doesn't understand how to break it down on a more granular level. So the way to fix that is either to do a drag and drop here, which you could do. The other option is to replace it here, and you could say new. We'll go from the internet sales on the order date key onto calendar date on the date key. We'll keep this many to one in a single direction, but there are other options that are outside the scope of this video. For the most part, you'll want to stick to many to one most of the time. Otherwise, it gets a little bit more complicated in terms of how the modeling and the visuals are going to react to any changes and filtering that you make. We'll set this to active by default and click OK. And now right away, we can see that this now broke down correctly. The order quantity by year looks more accurate, and it's not just a repeating value. The total summary is correct, but the individual year values look better. And that's because now this exists. It understands this relationship. If we were to turn this as inactive, let's say, make this one inactive here. Now we're back to the same problem. If we flip this to active, we're back to where we want. And the same now, we could actually break this down by something more, because now all three of these can be connected. So we could do occupation and have this broken down even more granularly because it understands this relationship for every single row. You could have multiple inactive relationships, either they're defined here or they're defined in your cube. And the way that you would indicate how you want it to actually connect would be through DAX. So you would have to use the use relationship function within your DAX query as you're creating a measure, and then use that specific measure in here. Let's say you had two keys on sales and calendar date. You had order date key, and then maybe there was a sales date key. You could create two different DAX measures. Both would be inactive. One would be based on sales date. The other would have the use relationship indicating order date. And depending on which measure you picked, it would understand how it should relate those and break those down for you appropriately. So that's all I wanted to show for this video. Please feel free to leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you at the next one. Thanks.